In this brief video, I will demonstrate how to use the basics of the GoWRISTmls app. Once you open up the app, you will first notice that there are two logins, a consumer login and an agent login. You will use the agent login, which utilizes the same user ID and password that you do when you log into the MLS system. Once you log into the app, you are taken to a screen very similar to this, with majority of the screen being a map and three tabs at the top: Map, Gallery, and List. This is a map-driven app, so you'll need to get comfortable with navigating on the map. Just by using your finger, you can move down to a new location that you like and give it a few seconds, and it will recalculate and show you the results based on that location that you're at. You can also use your fingers to zoom in or to zoom out on a location. As you're doing this, you notice every time you stop, the search recalculates and shows you the new results for that location. Another way to search based off of the map is to use the draw pencil down at the bottom. By clicking on that pencil, you'll notice the pencil becomes blue and all the results go away. This is where you can now use your finger and draw your shape around the location that you like. The shape fills in, and now based off of that shape, that's your new location that you're searching for. If you made a mistake or need to start over, just hit the clear button at the bottom. Once you hit the clear button, then you can hit the draw button again, and now the screen is clear and you can redo your shape to get it the way you like it. That's one way of searching, is off of the map. Now that is not the only way you can search. So I'm going to show you another way, and I'm going to clear this map. The next way is I can use a magnifying glass at the top right section of this. This opens up and you'll see the search filters here. The very top bar, which is in white, after the words map bounds, you also says or enter a search. What you can do here is by clicking in there, you can type in several things. You can type in a zip code, a street address, or just a street, or school districts, or cities, or even the MLS area numbers, such as Area 701, which is the Troy MLS area. But you'll notice once I type this in here, not only does it say Troy 701, but it also found the Brookville Local School District, which is 5701. So you'll notice this several times. So for example, if I type in Springfield, you'll notice several options down below, such as Springfield School District, all the MLS areas that have the word Springfield in it. You'll also see the city of Springfield and the township of Springfield. So play with this and try it different ways. Another common way might just be simply typing in the zip code. So if I type in the zip code, now what I can do is use that zip code as my search filter. Then I can change the property type if I like. If I don't want to search for residential, I can choose any of the other property types. I can only search for one property type at a time though. So I'm just going to stick with residential. And then next you'll notice I have status. By clicking on the status, I can search for any and all statuses that I like. Note that if you have the consumer can only search for active and contingent listings. You, as the agent, have the ability to search for any and all statuses at one time. I'm just going to search for active and contingent in this search. Next, I'm going to choose price. By opening up the price filter, you notice there's two columns, a minimum section and a maximum section. So I'm just going to type in or pick one of my sections here. The next field you'll notice is price. I'm going to click on the price filter here, which will open up, and you'll see that there are two columns, a minimum column and a maximum column. I'm going to move this up and pick a minimum of 150,000. I do not have to pick a maximum value. If I didn't, it would just assume 150,000 with no max. But here, I'm going to pick 200,000. So my range is between 150 to 200,000, and I'm going to hit the Save button. Next, you'll notice a very similar thing with bedrooms. Here, I have the same thing, a minimum and a maximum. Just by picking in 3, I don't have to pick maximum value, so I'll just hit Save, and now you'll notice it's just 3 or more. Same thing goes with baths and square feet and level style. And at the very bottom, you'll notice there's a sold date and a sold price that if I did want to search by solds, I could pick the sold date range or sold price range. And also notice at the very bottom, there's a reset button. Sometimes when you come into a search, previous search criteria is still in there. So you may have to reset the values to do a new search on here. So just make a note of that. And then also at the bottom right, there's a Save Search button. So that way, once I type this in here, I don't have to enter this criteria over and over again. I can simply just hit the Save button and give it a name, and it will be stored within the app. Once you've got your search criteria, just simply hit the search button at the very top, and it will execute your search for you. There's my search, and now what I can do is change from my map to the gallery and see the list of these properties that are in here. I can also switch to the list to see a list of these properties that are in here. If I want to see one more in greater detail, just tap on it and it opens up and shows me in greater detail. If there's this house that I like and I want to save it as a favorite, you'll notice the little gray circle with the white star. Just by tapping on it will make it a gold star, and it'll be stored in my favorites. If I tap it again, it just simply goes away. I can also, you'll notice I'm on the first listing of 9. I can just use my finger and slide over to the second house or to the third house, and then simply back to the beginning. I can also do that on a photo. Just by moving the photo over, I can look at this house and this photos in several different ways. I can also just tap on the photo and it opens it up, and then I can zoom in or zoom out on that photo and just hit the X at the top to get back out. There's several options at the very bottom. You notice directions, which will open up my GPS mapping system on my phone to navigate me to that location. There's a map button that just opens up the map and shows me where the house is located at. I can also hit the share button, which opens up and allows me to share this with other apps on my phone, such as my text messaging, my email. I can tweet it out. And down at the bottom, you'll notice Facebook. I can post it to Facebook, and I can use my contacts and send it to my contacts that way too. There's also a contact button. By hitting the contact button, this will show me whose listing this is, and if I want to call the agent or email them, just simply tap on either the phone number, which will call the agent, or I can hit the email, which will open up my email to send them a contact, an email message. After this, you'll notice if I scroll down, there's a description, and there's a More button right underneath the description. By tapping that, just opens up more of the remarks. I can scroll down and see more and more information here. And then, once again, I see the contact's phone number. And there's also a showing phone number if the agent has something on here. There's also broker remarks. This stuff, the consumer will not see this stuff. Just the agent will be able to notice this. And there's also some more information down here. And more importantly, there's a tax info button. By clicking on View Details, just takes me to the real list tax information for this property. And you'll notice there's all kinds of tax information available for that listing. By scrolling back up to the top, just underneath the photo, there's a button that takes me back to the listing details. This takes me back to the details of this property. And at the top, I can just simply hit the close button, and I'm back to looking at more information here. One last thing before I end this video is up at the top left, you'll notice the 3 bars with the number 4 up there. That 4 is a badge icon, which we'll talk about later. But by clicking on that 3 bars, just opens up the slider on the side. You can see that this should have your contact information at the top, a branded version. There's also several other options in here. There's a near me, a new search, your favorites, save searches, your listings, a directory to search for other agents in the system, a list of your contacts that are in your MLS system. You can share this app, which we'll talk about in another video, and then you can log out and look at some other important stuff down here. But that's the basics that I want to show you today. Please take advantage of this, utilize this app, get familiar with it, and we will have other videos to help you share this app and to do more with this wonderful application that we've got for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.